Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Allison from Little Paper Crown, and today I wanted to share with you what we're using over the summer for our reading lessons. We're using Dash into Reading. These are 10 books that Amelia Murdoch created. She hand painted all of the illustrations in here, and in just a sec I'll show you inside each of the books so you can sort of see how the lessons progress. But I wanted to talk just a quick second about why we chose these for our early readers. We've been doing Rod and Staff for a little while, and we will continue to work through those books. For Finn, he's been loving those, and Lydia's doing The Good and the Beautiful pre-K. But over the summer, instead of trying to finish those books, that wasn't really my goal. I kind of wanted to do something just a little bit different over the summer. We homeschool year round. It just makes it easier for us, flexibility of our schedule and things like that, and to go to doctor's appointments if we don't have to worry about, oh, how many days a week are we doing school now, and that kind of thing. So it just makes more sense at this age for my kids to continue doing homeschool throughout the summer, but I want to do something just a little bit different for them. So I started looking at early readers for Finn, even though he showed absolutely no interest in practicing letters or learning their sounds or anything like that. He loves to be read to. He'll sit in my lap for hours and be read to, but I don't think he was quite ready for the actual work of reading himself. So I happened to see these. I'm just going to hold this one up because this is the one that we're in right now. I happened to see these on Chelsea from at Let's Play School on Instagram. She was talking about her daughter doing them, and at the time they were not in print yet, but they are in print now. So this is the physical copy. You can also buy the PDF copies from what I understand. And then I bought the activity pack that goes with just this book. That's all that's out right now. But it's just a $3 PDF download. It's paper dolls, coloring pages, a couple of games in there that go along with each reader. And I think pack 2 is out in a couple of weeks or something. It's pretty soon. So I'll probably continue with that. And if you'd like to read more about why I kind of chose this program over all the millions of others that are out there, you can look at the link below for my blog, and I explained it more in detail there. But what I wanted to do in the video today was show you not only inside of here, but a couple of the lessons I did with the kids and kind of what comes with the activity pack in case you're looking for something like this to do with your child over the summer, or even just to reinforce what they've learned. Like if they're already through kindergarten and they've been learning some beginning decoding, these would be great for review and to keep up their skills over the summer. And they were very reasonably priced. And like I said, she hand painted all of the illustrations, so this was definitely a labor of love for her, I think. I wanted to show you while I've got this held up here. In the beginning of each book, there is a lesson. I'm just gonna put that right there. So we started, our very first lesson was just going through these letters and saying the sounds of them, and going through the sight words was our next step. And then the video you're gonna see, we had already done the big blending path of this. There's a huge size one of these that comes in the activity pack for this particular book, and I'll show you how we use that in the video. We have not gone beyond blending here. We're just taking this at the kids' pace, and there's really no hurry because Finn wouldn't be in kindergarten because of his birthday anyway. Right now he'd still be in preschool, so I have the flexibility there with him, and Lydia's just doing it with us. And I'll show you not only some of the games from this activity pack that I did with the kids, them doing it in real time, but I'll also show you everything that I am using from the activity pack at the moment. I haven't printed everything, but I've printed what I needed in black and white because our printer is pretty basic. So I wanted to show you what's inside of these books and kind of give you a peek inside there, but I'll also show you me using the actual activities with the kids. One note I want to mention, and I mentioned this in my blog as well, there is a big difference between decoding words when you're first beginning to learn how to read versus reading and comprehending what you're reading. And I know a lot of people start panicking like, oh, my child's 5 and they're not reading. Well, no other 5-year-old is reading either, not with comprehension, unless they are, genius level children. There are kids that are ready at 3 or 4 to decode letters, and there are kids that are not, and that is completely okay. So I just want to, anybody out there that's worried about oh man, my son is getting up there in age, like he's about to turn 5 or he's about to turn 6 and he shows no interest in this, it's fine. Just take a deep breath. It'll all be okay. Public school and other tested types of schooling would put a lot of pressure on you to have them decoding at like 3, 4, 5. And then reading by 6, like reading fluently by 6. And I just don't think the average child, even as smart as they may be, is ready for that. So I just want to throw that out there for any of you that are like, you know, buying all these reading programs or thinking about all these reading programs. We just needed a place to start from. And both of my kids have had exposure to letters and letter sounds, but this is really the first time we have sat down to do focused lessons on them. And I also want to mention, because I know people will jump to conclusions when they see the video of the kids doing some of the lessons. This was the first set of lessons I've ever done where I've given the kids any kind of reward for doing the lesson. And it was just hey, we've got extra jelly beans in the house. We're going to use these for our lesson type thing. They've never had jelly beans before, as weird as that sounds. We don't eat a lot of candy around here. So anyway, I thought just to mix it up, the first couple times we did the games, I would give them a jelly bean as a treat. So if you're watching this, please don't comment and say it's wrong to reward your kids for doing their lessons. This is a once in a while thing. And honestly, I have no problem with giving stickers or candy or rewards for doing lessons. I just have not done that in the past. So just a disclaimer there. Please don't comment below and tell me I shouldn't reward my kids for doing lessons. Everybody's got to do it their own way. So this was our first experience with jelly beans in exchange for saying the correct letter sounds, and we're just going to leave it at that. So if you want to see the inside of these books and then also watch my kids do a sample lesson, just keep watching this video. Okay, so day 1, very beginning lesson for this first book, Fan and Sam. All I did was go through and say, have them repeat after me, s, f, a, r, t. I had to think about that one, I don't know why. Anyway, and then I had to do the sight words with them. So the first couple of lessons, you know, a couple days in a row was just that, sitting down, doing the sounds, and then going on about the rest of whatever our school was for the day. And then after a few days of doing that, I had them do the blending path with their finger and with me and just go at, am, and on down here, sa, very slowly, sa. Well, around this time is when she came out with this blending game in the activity pack that I'm going to show you, and it was so much bigger. I thought this is going to be better for them kinesthetically, just to be able to physically move the letters in a bigger way. So after doing the blending game on the actual book for a little bit, I had downloaded this, and then our next couple of lessons were just going at, and they think it's hilarious when I drag out letters like that. So then they were doing it. And all I did was, I could probably Velcro this. I just didn't have time. I taped whatever letter, the main letter we were working with. And so then later we were, you know, using other versions like ma. And they just, both of them did it. I don't have a video of that because some things are just harder to video when you're doing it with them and giving them focused attention, but I do have a video in this second portion of this that shows them actually doing some of these games. And then after we did the blending game, the next time I worked with them, I spelled it out in bananagrams, and you can get these on Amazon. It's just letter tiles, or you can use Scrabble tiles or whatever, and I just showed them how, like, you know, fan, and I know is considered a sight word in some programs, but anyway, we just were sounding it out because you could, and then Sam. And so I was just trying to show them a little bit of kind of the concept of word building and sounding things out. So we did that for a couple times, and then after they got done with the bananagrams, they colored, and we read this out loud. I read it with them. They didn't read it to me. Sorry. See my hair fall out all the time. That was a piece of my hair. Anyway, that's mom life for you. Anyhow, so then that was, you know, another lesson complete. And then in just a little bit, I will show you more of how we use this game right here. which is just you put the letter that you want them to find. And I had them, I mean, there's a number of ways you can play this, but the way I did it was I said, okay, what's this letter? And if they knew the letter, but they knew the sound, then I counted that. So like Lydia might say t, and I'd say, well, find the other t for T, and she would go t, t, t. And, you know, there's a variety of ways we could play this down the road, but that's just how we played it the first couple of times. So you'll see Finn and Lydia both do that 2 separate times. We had played this one time through with all the letters for each of them, so you're seeing them on their second go round of doing this. But keep in mind, we had not had a whole lot of letter practice before, so they pick it up very quickly. And then I did want to show you just a little bit of the inside of some of these. So this is book 2, and you're moving on to now and is a sight word and not it and capital M, and then you do all the blending for that. So by the end of, let me show you a little bit of the progression. By the end of Fan and Sam, you're just kind of reading really short sentences. I sat, Sam sat. Fan ran at the rat. This reminds me a lot of the McGuffey's readers, except the font is a lot easier for me to read and the kids to read because it looks like what's on our alphabet poster. So I don't know, I just thought the font was really clear and that was helpful. And then, so then in book 2, you're getting into a little more complex things. There's little finger trails. And Dash is the horse character. This also does come with little finger guides. If my children have larger fingers than most, I think, because we couldn't fit their fingers in them, but you would just take the little horse and like run it along here. So that does also come with the hard copy versions of these. And then this is book 3, so that's Math the Ram. Again, they're building on what they have already been learning. And the pictures don't give it away. I know some kids can guess from the illustrations, and illustrations are very important to help them in the early reading stages for context clues, but you also want them to be able to sound out. It's a combination of lots of skills going on here. That's why beginning reading is so difficult for kids, because it's a lot of work. And I think we need to remember that. So this is a book, I'm out of order, sorry guys. This is what happens when you take pictures. Oh no, I'm fine. Okay. Here's the mutt. So by here you're doing you are, and you're continuing to use what words you've already learned. You know, in the second or third book you had and as a sight word. So you're continuing to build on those skills. And so she had puppies, and that's really cute. And then, so book 5 is Fish Fun. And I've actually seen Amelia's little girl reading this, sounding this out on her Instagram page. So by here, you know, you're getting into these larger blending. It's not just like at, it's fish, 2, you know, kind of blended sounds there. And this is book 5. So you can see how sweet Tash and Ash. And I don't know, my kids like these kind of illustrations because we read a lot of Eloise Wilkins books, and they're drawn kind of like this too. It's really sweet. So by here we're getting into, let me go into that for a second. And when you do this, after you've blended, kind of really dragging it out, she's wanting you to say, you know, ha, pa, sh, or sh, ha, ma, so that you can sound out the words without having to drag it out so much. There's Pam and Pip in this one. And so we're, what is this, book 5, book 6. So you're about midway through at this point. Book 7 is My Pal, and this is where the character Finn the dog comes in. This was another selling point for me, that he would be able to read his own name, because he knows his name, he can recognize that. But I thought that would be fun for him, and he likes dogs, so I don't think he'll care that his character's, or his name is used for a dog character. Okay, so there's that one. And then book 8. You're sort of seeing the sentences are getting longer. You're getting question marks now, which there might have been questions in the others, but you get the idea. This one also, Finn's really into Balto, and I thought as I was watching her kind of do the last few of these books on Instagram, every time I was like, I'm so glad I pre-ordered those. I'm so glad I pre-ordered those because all of them were looking so cute. There's another finger trail. This also sort of coordinates with his rod and staff kindergarten stuff as far as like the different kinds of animals, because there's a whole book on just Arctic animals in his rod and staff. And this is the very last one. So this is book 10. We're all obsessed with foxes, so that was again another selling point is the characters in the book. So you can see where we're getting to here. And they're all super adorable. And Dash is hidden in each of the books, so you always look for Dash. That's another fun thing you can do. Another thing I'll say too, just from in general, just for moms, I wanted books that I was going to like to look at over and over and over and heard read over and over and over, because I know he's going to need a lot of practice with this. So just in a selfish aside, that was another reason I chose these. Now, if you'll stay tuned to the video, at the end here, I will have a video showing how we did this lesson right here with both kiddos, 5 years old and 3 years old. And you'll kind of see how I work with them at their own pace. Like, they're obviously not at the same level. So if you want to see that, just keep watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, what letter is that?
Little F.
And what sound does it make?
It's Finn's name.
Right, so what does Finn's name sound like? Finn.
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 So F says, can you point to the other? Good job. All right, you get a jelly bean.
Okay, my turn.
Okay. What letter is it?
E.
And what sound does it make?
M.
Okay, find the other M's.
B. 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 Is there any more?
That's it. Good job. Here, little puppy.
How many?
Enjoy.
No. What?
Yes. Okay. Do you know what letter that is?
Wait, tell me.
Well, if it makes a S sound, what is it?
It goes
Like a snake, right? That's an S.
S.
But you knew the sound, so that's fine. Go ahead and find the other S. Wait a minute. Put your finger on them, because I didn't see. Okay. Yay! And she gets a jelly bean. Woo! And where are the other A's? Good job. Now you get a jelly bean. Isn't that easy?
I'm ready to do one.
Okay.